Hello and welcome to another episode of the BSN podcast. Today is Monday, September 19th. Hope everybody's having a good day so far and had a good rest of their day yesterday. It is in fact Monday, September 19th here today. Coming off a very exciting weekend of sports, a very happy day today if you're a New York Jets fan and if you're a New York Giants fan. If you're a New York sports fan really in general, it's a happy day, and it was an exciting weekend because for the first time since September 27, 2009, the Jets, Giants, Yankees, and Mets all won on the same day. Something we have not seen since 2009, something you don't see very often, but it happened yesterday. It happened in dramatic fashion. Judge hits 58 and 59. Jets win just in improbable fashion, a thrilling victory. Giants improved to 2-0, so a very good feeling today around the world of New York sports, and that's a great thing because it means a lot of happy. It means a happy me as the Jets and the Yankees won yesterday, and it was a good day all around for the New York sports world and for the New York sports fans out there, and we're going to dive right into it today. You know the drill. It's Monday. It's the Monday after. We do have 2 Monday Night Football games tonight to wrap up Week 2, but we're going to recap it all here. We'll take a dive into each game, talk about the Jets, talk about the Giants, obviously go through every other game, touch on those as well, and today's kind of the Monday after, the recap day. It's a football Monday, if you want to call it, and we'll recap Week 2 and get ready for the 2 Monday night game tonight, which will recap Week 2, I should say, and then Thursday, boom, we do it all over again. Thursday's Week 3. We'll also get to fantasy football, get into that, get to the recap, all that good stuff. Give you a little bit of advice of who's going to play tonight, although, I'm sure a lot of you by now have already made your decisions, but there are definitely some possible scenarios where people might need to choose between 2 guys, and tonight a lot of talent on the field between the Bills, between the Vikings, Eagles, Titans, not a ton outside of Derrick Henry, but I think Derrick Henry is a solid start. Maybe Robert Woods in some leagues where people might be looking to see if they'll play him, so I'll get you ready for tonight, along with recapping the weekend, and we'll finish things off with the New York Sports Update. Yankees, Mets get the wins yesterday, which was very good. That helps me out because I was happy the Jets won, and I was happy the Yankees won, and yesterday was a very good day. So we'll get you ready tonight. Mets open up a big 3-game set in Milwaukee against the Brewers, and the Yankees have a day off. They'll be back in action tomorrow against the Pirates, and it's funny. Something's happening right now with the Yankees and the Mets that's very interesting, and I find stuff like this kind of cool. That's just the way I am. But the Mets just got done playing the Pirates, so the Pirates will stay in New York, play the Yankees. Maybe all they'll do is switch over to hotels from the Queens to the Bronx, and they'll play the Yankees. So the Mets just got done playing the Pirates at home. Yankees will now play the Pirates at home. Yankees just got done playing the Brewers on the road. Now the Mets will play the Brewers on the road. So they're literally just flip-flopping. Yankees now play the Pirates. Mets now play the Brewers. They're just flip-flopping. That's really all it is. So it's pretty interesting. Nothing crazy. But that starts tonight for the Mets. Yankees day off before they start a quick 2-game interleague set tomorrow against the Pirates. All right, with all that being said, this is the BSN podcast, and let's get into it. So, great weekend in the NFL, another very exciting weekend. I mean, we had a ton of comebacks. We had the Jets game. We'll get to that here in a second. You had the Dolphins game, and then you had the Cardinals-Raiders game, which was wild. Cardinals make the Raiders are now 0-2. Crazy. Tua throws 6 touchdowns. Maybe I was wrong about Tua. I'll get into that. But I really want to get to today is the Jets and the Browns. And we'll get to the rest of the NFL. We'll get to the Giants. But I got to start with the Jets versus Browns. And I got to start, obviously, wearing the Namath jersey today. Very happy Victory Monday to all those Jet fans out there. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Victory Mondays are so much better. The amount of times, you get up on a Monday and you're on the other side of a you're on the other side of a defeating loss or on the other side of a tough loss, and it makes Mondays that much worse, and Victory Mondays make Mondays bearable. They make them all right. You wear your jersey, get all pumped up, feel good, and then boom, tomorrow focus shifts to Cincinnati, and you get ready for Week 3. But yesterday it was a wild game. It was a thrilling victory. It was a crazy victory. Jets down 30-17 with 1:30 left. They end up scoring, a big touchdown to Corey Davis after Chubb goes in for a touchdown, scores. They throw deep to Davis. He scores, get the onside kick, score. And look, it wasn't the perfect game. It wasn't the perfect performance. There's definitely things to be worked on. The offense was phenomenal. But I said this yesterday in my In the Trenches with Gang Green podcast that I do, recapping the game. I said, enjoy this win. Because the amount of times I can think of, so many times throughout the years, the Jets were always on the other side of this win. Are they always on the other side of this game? They've always been on the They've always been on the other side of these type of games. They've always been on the losing side of a heartbreaking defeat, or a defeat where you choke, or a defeat, with under 2 minutes left, you make boneheaded moves, and you just, it's not even so much just the onside kick. It's more so just blowing games, like just being stupid late, all those things. The amount of times the Jets have been on the other side of these type of victories has been, crazy. And not many times have the Jets been the winning team. So for the first time in a very long time, for the first time I can really say, the Jets were finally on the right side of one of these games. They were finally on the right side of it, and they got the win. And it was a thrilling victory. It was a great victory. So enjoy this as a Jet fan. Don't sit here and say, the defense wasn't good. I'll get to the defense here in a second. It wasn't very good, but the offense played very well. You saw a lot of good things from your run game. You saw a lot of good things from Garrett Wilson. He was the big reason why we won. Flacco played well. You saw a lot of positives from your young players. There was a lot of really good things to take away from yesterday's game, and the fact that they were able to find a way to win that game. They had a 99.9% chance of losing that game. They come all the way back, score 14 unanswered, win 14 points in the final 1 minute and 30 seconds. Great win for the Jets. An exciting win, a thrilling win. I still can't believe they won. I had to legitimately, after the game was over, check the score again just to make sure I wasn't dreaming, and I fell asleep during what was turning into a little bit of a blowout late there. No, I'm joking. I didn't actually fall asleep, but you get what I'm saying. Like, there was actually a point where I'm like, did I fall asleep and was I dreaming? Like, you kind of have to slap yourself and say, was that real? Like, what did I just witness? That was how it was. Because like when the Jets go down and score with Corey Davis, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, they score. I kind of wish I celebrated more now, hindsight 2020, because it was a great play. It was busted cover. It was just one of those like 66-yard plays. It was just nice, stat boosting, all that stuff. And I was like, all right, who cares? Because, you got to recover the onside kick. And then you hear the announcer say, like, there's a 14% chance or something of these onside kicks work. And I'm like, yeah, it's not going to work. And then sure enough, Braden Mann, out of the middle of nowhere, we all thought he was going to kick it to the right, kicks it to the left. Will Parks falls on it. Justin Hardy then gets it. And you're like, oh my gosh, the Jets have it. And then right then and there, I had a feeling like they're going to win this game. Because the Browns now are deflated. Now they have all the pressure. And the Jets are they're going out there, and the Jets in a way were playing loose at that point. It was like, all right, look, we got a chance now. We got an opportunity. Browns were the team that had to be playing, kind of, nervously pressured because they knew we're going to blow this. Are we seriously going to blow this game? And again, what you saw yesterday was a lot of positives from the offense. Like, you saw the young guys play really well. That was really good to see. Like, you saw a lot of really good things yesterday. You saw a lot of really, really positive things. And you saw what this Jet team can be when they utilize all their weapons. And when I did my preview show on In the Trenches with Gang Green, I did my I do my keys to the game, offensively, defensively. I do my X factors, matchup to watch, all that stuff. And my keys to the game for the offense, unlike last week, where the Jets didn't do any of that. This week, the Jets did basically everything. I said protect Joe Flacco. The Jets protected Flacco pretty well. Was it perfect? No. It's not going to be perfect when you're going up against Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. But they protected him for the most part, and Flacco played very well. Played very, very well. 26 of 44, 307 yards, 4 touchdowns, including the game winner, including the 66-yarder to Corey Davis. And I said, get the ball to Garrett Wilson. They got the ball to Garrett Wilson yesterday. Garrett Wilson is legit. He's legit. He is. He is a legit number one receiver that is going to be very good for a very long time, and we saw that yesterday. And it's, it frustrates you a little bit more, the fact that they didn't play him against the Ravens that much, because now you think to yourself, geez, if we could have played Garrett Wilson more, who knows how that offense would have played out. Like, Garrett Wilson yesterday was averaging like 2 yards of over 2 yards of separation, which is above the league average. He's doing things that are way above average as a rookie in his second game. I mean, he looks like a veteran out there in terms of just his hands, in terms of the way, even there were so many times, and I don't want to pick on Brees, because Brees played very well yesterday. He had 7 yards per carry, 7 carries for 50 yards. Played very well yesterday. A very good bounce-back game after a rough first game, and he's another guy that's continued to play well. He had the big 23-yard run. A lot of good things from Brees. But, watching Garrett Wilson yesterday, like, he plays like he's a veteran. Like, he has all the traits of a rookie, the speed, the athleticism. I'm not saying like plays like a veteran, like he's a 38-year-old guy out there that's slow. I'm not saying that. I'm saying a veteran with, like, his instincts. Like, there was a couple times yesterday where he caught it. He put the ball away, put his other hand on the ball, put it away, took the hit. Like, those are the type of things that we saw. And again, not to pick on Breece Hall, but last week, Breece Hall didn't do that. He fumbled against the Ravens. He didn't put the ball away. The ball was kind of out here on him. It got punched out. He fumbled. Like, what we saw yesterday at Garrett Wilson, what we've seen is, like, he puts the ball away. He takes the hit. Like, he's doing things that you see out of veteran. He's doing things that you wouldn't occasionally see out of rookie. But it's almost like Garrett Wilson's kind of his mind and the way he does things is like he's in a rookie's body in terms of athleticism and all that. But it's like his mind, his football smarts, his awareness is next level. And you saw a lot of that on display yesterday. Obviously, just to get into a little bit of details, obviously he had 102 yards, 8 catches, 2 touchdowns. But if you go even more into detail, it's the little things he does that makes you, that stand out even more to me. It's the little things. It's putting the ball away. It's taking the hit. Maybe it's making that extra move. A lot of times guys might just go down. He makes that extra move, boom, gets 3-4 more yards. It might not seem like a ton in the moment, but that could be a big factor going down, down the road in the game, however it plays out. So that's what I see out of Garrett Wilson was phenomenal yesterday. And Garrett Wilson's got to get the ball. He's got to get 9-10 targets every game. He's got to. Feed Garrett Wilson the ball. Feed him the ball. Great showing yesterday. And again, the reason why this win feels even better and why the loss would have felt so much more bitter was because the win, like, you saw a lot of good things out of your rookies. And that's what makes it so good. Like, we aren't watching a team, we're not watching a team of guys that are all these veterans in the NFL that are all leaving. I know Joe Flacco's obviously the quarterback, but it's not like it's Joe Flacco and like an old couple of receivers and guys that aren't going to be here for very long. Like, your young playmakers are making plays, and that's so good to see. So a lot of good things from the offense yesterday. And when you see your offense play like that and the defense struggle, that's what would have made the loss much worse, but you get the win. And look, I don't want to sit here and complain about the defense. Defense wasn't good. Enjoy this win. We can focus on the defense later on this week as we get ready for Burrow and the Bengals, who right now are 0-2 and in danger of losing and falling to 0-3. I mean, the Jets have a very winnable game. I mean, the Bengals are beatable right now. I mean, they lost to Mitch Trubisky and Cooper Rush. I can make the argument that Joe Flacco is better than both those quarterbacks. Not really make an argument. He probably is. He probably is better than both those quarterbacks. Definitely Cooper Rush. Maybe you can make the argument about Trubisky, but, I mean, Joe Flacco right now is third in the NFL in passing yards. It's crazy. I was looking at the stats this morning. Joe Flacco's third in passing yards. Tua leads the league. Carson Wentz is in second. Flacco's in third. I don't think anybody in this world, anybody in the United States of America, had Joe Flacco third in passing yards coming out of week 2. And I know there's still got to be games tonight, and the rankings could change, obviously, with the 2 games going on tonight, which we'll get to in a little bit. But it's just like I was looking at it, I'm like, geez, Flacco's got 2 300-plus yard games. He's got 5 touchdowns, or he's got 6 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, and he's got 5 touchdowns and 616 yards. He's third in the NFL in yards, 7th in the NFL in touchdowns. And he's tied for 7th in interceptions. He only had 1 pick. A clean game yesterday. This wasn't like one of these games where he threw 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. No, it was a clean game. Clean game. So, good to see that. Defense obviously struggled. Penalties hurt us. Defense has got to be better. Again, I don't think it's a lack of talent. I think it's the energy. Browns dominated the defense. But look, it's a win. Enjoy it. Saleh said in his press conference, he said there's a lot that we still need to work on. No doubt about that. You work on the defense. Look, you're going up against an offensive line in the Bengals, and I was looking at that today. They've allowed 13 sacks in 2 games. Burrow has been sacked 13 13 times. And I think that's a big reason why, not I think, that's a big reason why they're not winning games. And that's a big reason why they lost to Pittsburgh and Mitch Trubisky at home. And they went on the road to a Dallas team who got embarrassed in week 1, when they're now without their starting quarterback. And they lost to Cooper Rush. So they've lost to 2 opponents that you should not lose to. But their offensive line just can't protect Burrow. And I was wrong right now about their offensive line. I said, going into the season, I said, they've improved. They built up their offensive line. They brought in the pieces. But he's been sacked 13 times in 2 games. That's crazy. That's crazy. It really is. Wild that he's been sacked that much. And Jets got to take advantage of that next week. Something else I want to mention, too, is, they fought, they competed, all that good stuff. And, again, that's what I want to see. Like performances like this, wins, all that stuff. That's what you want to see. We want to see wins, but we also want to see competitiveness. Like, this team's battling. This team's fought. Last week, they did not do that. This week, they did that. That's good. That's improvement. That's what we want to see on a week in and week out basis. Competitiveness, winning football, those are the things you want to see. Obviously, most of all, winning football games. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Because, again, the NFL is a week-by-week league. Jets lost last week. All of us Jet fans were extremely frustrated. A week later, boom, we're all happy. That's how the NFL is. It's a week-by-week league. You go 1-0 each week. If you lose one game, that you're kind of like 0-1 that week. That's how it is. Like, you didn't win that week. That's frustrating. It's not like baseball where it's every single day. Like, you can't overreact to one loss. Football's different. I've been down this road many times. Everybody knows this. So what I'm trying to say is, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, but you're coming up at a game at home now for the Jets where it's a winnable game. Again, look at the Bengals. It's not like the Bengals went on the road and lost to Buffalo, went on the road and lost to Kansas City. It's not like they've lost to 2 elite teams with 2 elite quarterbacks. They lost to Mitch Trubisky at home and Cooper Rush. And I don't want to hear, Cooper Rush, it was on the road. No, you lost to those guys. And your defense can't hold anything. Your offensive line can't stop a parked car. They can't. He's been sacked 13 times. So to say that next week's game is winnable, it is a winnable game. Am I extremely... Again, we'll get more into this as the week goes, but it's a winnable game. It's not impossible to sit here and say the Jets could win. And in the week after that, well, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but you got Trubisky and the Steelers. That's not a crazy ask either. Now, if you would have told me 2 weeks ago, you got the Bengals week 3, I would have said that's going to be extremely tough. But the Bengals right now, Burrow has no time in the pocket. He has no time. They're not doing anything on offense. So, if the Jets play like they did against the Bengals in terms of their defense stopping the run, which is maybe what they are going to have to rely on with Mixon because Burrow's not going to have time, and your offense plays like it does today, put up 31 points, you have a chance. So things maybe are starting to turn. Maybe the football gods are on the Jets side here. And the Jets yesterday, they went for it too, and that's what I like to see. They faked the punt. That was good to see. Boom, you go down and score. Things like that, plays like that, can change things for a team. So a very good win yesterday for the Jets. A exciting win, a thrilling victory, a victory that right now I still don't fully know if it actually happened or if I'm just dreaming right now because it's the truth. Just a wild win. And today, if you're a Browns fan, you got to feel like garbage. And what stinks is if you're a Browns fan, you got to find a way with the Browns. They got to find a way to turn the page and get ready for Pittsburgh Thursday night. That's what's crazy. They got to find a way to turn the page. I'm glad the Jets don't have a Thursday night game because this week I'm talking because we can enjoy this victory. I want to enjoy this. This is wild. It's crazy. Like I'm enjoying it, but I still don't fully know. It's hard to wrap your mind around what happened in those 1:30 seconds. And I know a lot of people turn the game off, which I don't really. I mean, I obviously keep it on. I always keep it on all the way until the clock hits triple zeros. But I know a lot of people, just viewers or just other people, would turn the games off. I know Jets fans did too. I mean, I saw somebody else yesterday say they turned the game off and then they got the update on their phone or something like, Jets win 31-30. And it's like, what? That's a glitch. Like, crazy. So, a crazy win for the Jets. A very good win. An exciting win. A thrilling win. I mean, unless if I'm missing a game off the top of my head in my lifetime, I can't remember a crazier game, a more thrilling victory than this. I have seen the Jets blow leads. I have seen the Jets win big games. Not many of them. Win games in crazy fashion, but I've never seen this. this crazy. I mean, I never have. I mean, there was a stat that said the last time a team blew, it was the Browns in 2001, blew like a 13-point lead under a minute to go. Or under 2 minutes to go. Like, from that point on, it was like 2,000-something consecutive games where the team that went into the final 2 minutes down 13 lost. It's almost a guarantee you lose. But, like, it's Jets won. So, Jets get the win. Enjoying the victory Monday. And they improved to 1-1. And now focus shifts to Cincinnati and a winnable game at home. And you hope MetLife Stadium's roaring because this is a big week. If you can win this week, I mean, you're 2-1. You got a winnable game against the Steelers after that. I mean, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but if that were to happen, I mean, that'd be phenomenal. That'd be phenomenal. You start to stack up wins, get on a win streak, a locker room, all that good stuff. I mean, when you win, you just hope the one thing the Jets got to do, stack these up. One win every 5 games isn't going to do it. You got to stack up wins. Stack them up, stack them up, stack them up. Get on winning streaks. You have an opportunity to do that coming up this week. And as for the Giants yesterday, Giants get the win, 19-16. Not nearly as an action-packed game as the Jet game. But I want to say something. You know, if you're a Jet fan today, enjoy the win. But more specifically, if you're a Giant fan today, enjoy the win. Enjoy the victory. You're 2-0. I see Giants fans all over online saying, oh, Daniel Jones isn't a guy. We're going to win 10 games and still go into the offseason not knowing who our quarterback is. It's like, forget about all that. Enjoy the win. You're 2-0 for the first time since 2016. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody expected the New York Giants to go on the road and beat Tennessee. And oh yeah, beat Carolina. Maybe Carolina more likely than Tennessee, but nobody saw this coming. And nobody saw the Giants having a possibility to go 3-0 against Cooper Rush and the Cowboys. And then after that, they got the Bears and they're all home. Those are all winnable games. I mean, it's not crazy to say the Giants might start out 3-1, 4-0. It's really not. Especially after watching the Bears last night, which I don't know why they keep putting the Packers-Bears on Sunday Night Football. Every single game, it's a blowout. I don't know why the NFL continues to do that. Every season, Bears-Packers, Sunday Night Football, and it's always a blowout. It's always a terrible, terrible game. It always is. Like, Rodgers, as long as Rodgers is the quarterback in Green Bay, Bears going to get blown out. Automatically, especially at Lambeau. And it happened again last night. We'll get to that later. But the Giants were the big win. And look, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't one of these victories that you go ahead and say, oh, this was the greatest win ever. But their defense stepped up, made some big plays. Daniel Jones, although he didn't have a phenomenal game, only averaged 5 yards a pass. I get all that stuff, but they got the win. And that's all that matters. And, you know, I know Barkley, 21 carries, 72 yards. Not the way he played last week. Started to play better towards the second half. You found a way to win. Your defense played good. You know, you saw some positives on the offense. Not many, but you know, you did enough. Like, you did enough to find a way to win the game. You know, Bellinger scoring the touchdown from Daniel Jones. You know, Jones doing just enough. Like, sometimes you're not always going to have a pretty victory. It's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be these big-time victories or these flashy victories like the Giants had last week where, you know, you have a 100-yard rusher and you're going for 2 and all that stuff. The Giants' defense stepped up. They did, and they played well. Enjoy it. Like, you're 2-0. Like, I can't tell you how many Giants fans today are like, we're going to win 10 games with a quarterback that's not good. It's like, you're 2-0. Enjoy this. I'll tell you what, if you were 0-2 right now and Daniel Jones is playing great, you'd still be fed up because they're not winning. At the end of the day, winning's all that matters. You know, you cross that bridge when you get there at the end of the season. If you win the division and go into the playoffs, like, you know, it's week 2. I mean, I don't know why people out there, and this isn't most of the time, and I know a ton of people are Giants fans. Everybody's thrilled today. As a matter of fact, some people are getting a little too cocky. They're already saying they won a division. That's all right. I mean, I would be too. If I was a Jet fan right now and the Jets were 2-0 and they just got off of 2 big wins, I'd probably be saying the same thing too. I'd be on cloud 9 right now. I am on cloud 9 right after yesterday's win. But you follow what I'm saying? Like, I get why Giants fans are happy. But there's a select few of them out there, and this isn't a shot at Giants fans, but the select few of them out there that are saying, oh, you know, 2-0, but, you know, we're playing these, you know, bad, you know, Daniel Jones not playing good, all that stuff. It's like, stop. You're 2-0. Enjoy it. Enjoy it if you're a Giants fan. You're 2-0. Winning is, at the end of the day, all that matters in the NFL. If you win 5 games and your quarterback throws for the most touchdowns in the league, it means nothing. If you win 10 games and your quarterback's not that good, but you found a way to win 10 games and you're in the postseason, you're in the postseason. You found a way to get there. I mean, that's how it is. So, enjoy it if you're a Giants fan. Another big win. And again, this is what you're going to get out of this Giant team in terms of their fight, their competitiveness and all that stuff. This is what you're going to get under Dable. This is what you're going to get under Joe Shane. And they were at home. Again, I think this also kind of shows good coaching too, because you're at home. You obviously had a big win last week. I understand, you're at home and all that stuff, but there was a potential possibility for like a letdown game. After the emotional victory last week, you get to 1-0. You start out this game kind of slow. It's 6-6 going into halftime. You can't get much going, but you found a way in the second half to get it done. You found a way to win the game. That's all that matters. And next week, hey, if you find a way to win next week against Dallas on Monday night, well, hey, guess what? You're going to be 3-0. And if it's ugly and you beat the Bears, you're 4-0. Doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter the stats. A win is a win, and that's all that matters. And the Giants fans tonight are rooting very hard for the Vikings, because if the Vikings win tonight, the Giants will have sole possession in first place. If the Giants win tonight. So, or if the Eagles or Vikings win tonight. So, again, look at the Giants' schedule coming up. It's not crazy to say they could be 4-0. It's not. It's not crazy to say that. Cowboys, Bears, Cowboys. Cowboys, Bears coming up. Both are home. Then it gets a little rough. Then you have the Packers and the Ravens. 2 tough games. But then after that, that Packers game's in London, so you really never know there. But after that, though, you get the Jaguars, you get the Seahawks, you get the Texans, you get the Lions, and then, you get the Cowboys again. Although by that point, that's Thanksgiving. I don't know if Dak will be back by then. That's way down the road. But if it's Cooper Rush, well, there's a winnable game. I mean, I'm not trying to, again, try to get too ahead of myself just like I was with the Jets. Don't want to do that. You just got to take it game by game, but Giants are playing well. They're playing good football, and their defense showed out yesterday. Defense played well. Defense answered the call. They answered the call. And I'll tell you what, this is back-to-back weeks now where Dable has kind of trusted his defense. In the game against the Titans, he went out there, went for 2. Look, we left some time time on the clock, but hey, defense going to go out there, hold them. They obviously missed the kick. It wasn't all the defense, but they did what they needed to do there. And then, yesterday, offense wasn't good. Defense played well. All right, so now we move on here to the rest of the week 2 NFL games. A lot of big ones across the league. Again, I don't know why the NFL, and I said this a little bit earlier, I don't know why the NFL is, I don't know why the NFL is, continues to put the Packers and the Bears on Sunday Night Football. I just don't know why. I don't know why. Every year, Bears-Packers, Sunday Night Football, blowout. Oh, Bears-Packers, we'll try this year, Sunday Night Football, blowout. You kind of get your hopes up. The Bears beat the Niners in week 1, and the Packers lose. They look terrible. You're like, all right, maybe the Bears go on the road and beat them. Not the case. Not the case. And I know the Bears, went into the second quarter. They were leading and all that stuff. I get that. But it was 27-10 final score. And it's always at Lambeau, too. It's like you're going to get smoked. You're going to get smoked. And that's what happened. So that game was bad. Broncos, Texans, not much going. Broncos got to get their offense figured out. They have to. This is back-to-back weeks now where there's been some head-scratching, moves. Wilson was terrible yesterday. Was awful yesterday. A completion percentage of below 50%. You know how I feel about the Broncos. I know they're 1-1, and I know they got the win, and I know the Raiders are 0-2. The Raiders, it's been 2 very disappointing losses. But I'll tell you what, with the Packers, I mean, the Broncos, they got to figure it out because they made the Seahawks defense look really good and they made the Texans look really good. And that can't happen. They got the win, though. I'll give it to them. Rams, Falcons got the win. It was close. It got close there. Rams, Bengals both kind of struggling a little bit, come out of the gate. Rams did get the win. Bengals, Cowboys. Again, the Bengals, Burrow's he gets sacked 6 times. 6 times yesterday and got sacked 7 times against the Steelers. That's terrible. That is awful. 13 sacks in 2 games. 199 yards and a touchdown. Nothing going for them. Nothing. Even in the run game, there's nothing going. And it shows, put pressure on Burrow, teams are going to win. Raiders-Cardinals was a wild game. So the Raiders were winning 20-0 at halftime. Going into the fourth quarter, they were winning 23-7. And then the Cardinals then score 16 points in the fourth, make it 23-23. And then they put up a touchdown in overtime and win 29-23. So, big win there for the Cardinals. They moved to 1-1, and the Raiders now are 0-2. And the Raiders got to get things figured out because they went out and spent money in the offseason. They got the talent. They're just, their defense in the 2 games, they've kind of gotten, beat pretty badly in those 2 games. So that's definitely tough there. Obviously, the Niners-Seahawks game was a big one. The big storyline coming out of the game was just Trey Lance. And, he's done for the year. And you hate to see that. Now it's another opportunity for Garoppolo. And I'll tell you what, Garoppolo continues to get the chance. If Garoppolo goes out there and wins 11 games this year, and the Niners go out and make it to the playoffs again and get to the NFC Championship game again, how can you not bring him back? He wins. Garoppolo wins. It's tough to see Trey Lance go down like that, especially this early in his career. These young guys, whenever you see them go down, it's so tough to see. And he's done for the year now. So now you got to wait for a whole another year to see what he's going to be. But hey, maybe the Niners felt this way. Maybe this isn't why they traded him. I think a lot of it was because nobody wanted to take on Jimmy G's contract. But maybe this is why. They didn't want to trade him because they knew if a situation like this happens, you got a very qualified backup behind him and arguably a starter. And he's shown that a lot. So Niners get the win there. Buccaneers get the win. You had the Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore fight, all that stuff. Lions get the win over the Commanders. Patriots get the win over Steelers. Jaguars get the win over the Colts. Colts can't do anything offensively. They cannot do anything. Michael Pittman was out yesterday. There is nobody on that team outside of Michael Pittman that's really a legit receiver. There isn't. So they're 0-1-1 now. Taylor was solid, 9 carries, 54 yards. They didn't give him the ball much. Matt Ryan had 5 sacks, threw the ball over 3 times. Wasn't good. Was not a good performance for the Colts. And again, if this continues to happen, Colts might find themselves in another position to get another quarterback next year. And they just continue to bounce around quarterbacks every year. Maybe they got to draft a guy, develop him, not just pick up these veterans or these guys that they hope can turn into what they once were, I know Rivers got them to the postseason. Wentz was a disaster last year, and so far, Matt Ryan hasn't done anything. So, not a good start for the Colts. And yeah, those were your games. Dolphins-Ravens was the big one. Look, I got to give credit where credit's due. Tua played great yesterday. He was phenomenal. And Tyreek Hill was as well. And look, I'm not going to sit here and officially say that the Dolphins are legit and they're going to be a true threat in the AFC. I need to see more of this. I need to see more consistency because I didn't see this in week 1. Saw a lot of that yesterday. But I got to give credit where credit's due. Very good game. Very good game by Tua and a phenomenal game. That was an MVP-like performance. It was. 6 touchdowns. Not saying he's going to win the MVP, but when you look at the stat line, 6 touchdowns. Yeah, 2 picks, but 6 TDs, 469 yards. Threw the ball 50 times, completed 36 of those 50 passes. Phenomenal. And, he got the ball to Waddle, got the ball to Hill, got the ball to Gesicki. He was doing just about everything. So, a great win there for the Dolphins and a really tough win for the Ravens and a disappointing performance for the Ravens defense. All right, so now you go here. We'll actually wrap things up here, and we'll get to fantasy and finish off there. We'll get to the baseball games today because I'm already on the app here. Angels, Mariners, Rays, Astros, Cubs, Marlins, Orioles, Tigers, Braves, Nationals, Rockies, Giants, Dodgers, Diamondbacks. Today got the Mets, Brewers. Mets come into today's game 93-55. Brewers come into today's game 78-68. Mets got Max Scherzer on the mound. He's 9-4, the 2.26 ERA. And the Mets got Corbin Burns on the mound. He's 9-7, the 2.97 ERA. Over under set at 6.5. Should be a pitching duel, 7:40 p.m. Eastern, LB Network. Also, a lot of really good games on in the college football world this weekend as well. So, a lot of good football to recap here. All right, and now we head to fantasy football. So out of the 4 leagues this week, right now I have an 80% chance to win in one of my leagues. I got Dalvin Cook tonight and Tyler Bass. My opponent has Josh Allen. So, look, I'm winning right now by 22 points. If I somehow lose this game, I'm winning by 22. It's possible. I mean, Allen would need to have about like 40 points, and Cook and Bass would need to have about like 10 combined. So, Cook's going to have a really bad game tonight if I'm not going to win this game. I do think I'll win. I'm projected to win 140 to 116. Again, my opponent, Allen would have to put up like 40 points. Or if he would have like a Tua performance, like 6 touchdowns in order to win. Or Dalvin Cook does nothing. Bass does nothing. Let's just say Bass gets me 5, Cook gets me like 6, I get 11. Or I get 10 total, 5 and 5, 119, and then Allen gets him like 36, 37, which is possible. Then I lose. But, again, I don't think Allen might get 30, but if Cook gets me at least 15 points, it's over. All I need is 15 points out of Cook and Bass, like combined, because that would get me to about 124, and then he would need Allen to get him like 45 at that point. What, right? 40, yeah, about 35, 40 at that point. So it would take a lot. So I just need Cook and Bass to play well tonight. In my other league, I've projected to win. I'm projected to beat my opponent. I have a 51% chance of winning tonight. So I have Philly defense tonight. And this was on me. I didn't really focus much on the defense this week in this league. Like, I messed up. I should have went out and got a defense. I didn't. I kind of forgot about it. Not that I forgot. I kind of just, like, I knew that, the Eagles' defense was an issue, but I didn't really put into the fact that I still have Dalvin Cook to play. So my opponent has Derrick Henry. I got Cook, Philly D, and Tyler Bass. So, look, I need Philly to intercept Wentz or intercept Kirk Cousins tonight, and I need Cook to have a big game. That's what I need. Something like that. Let Cook get a ton of rushing yards. Have him get like 120 rushing yards. Let Philly have pick off Cousins 3 times. Don't put up many points. Win the game. That'd be ideal. Because then Cook gets me like 12 points, 12, 15 points, because I'm sure he'll get some passes. Bass is probably going to give me 8 or 9. And my defense will give me 7 to 10. That would probably be good for the win. Because that's about, 30, 35 points total. Then you're asking Derrick Henry to put up a lot there. So, definitely a chance to win there, although I am losing in that league right now, 82 to 68. So I'm down by 14. As for my other league, right now, again, Dalvin Cook in that league as well. Dalvin Cook's a good option across any league. You could go, Devontae Smith is definitely an option tonight to be played in any fantasy league, really. You could go Devontae Smith. You could go Adam Thielen. A lot of people have Adam Thielen as a depth, especially in not like deeper leagues. Like if you're in an 8-man league, Adam Thielen is very good depth, a very good piece at receiver, so he could be an option there too. This league I'm going to lose. I mean, unless if he has Diggs and AJ Brown, I got Cook again. Unless if Diggs and AJ Brown do nothing and Cook puts up like 20, I'll win, but I don't know how likely that is. And in my other league, I have a 70% chance of winning. I got Devontae Smith and Greg Joseph. He's got nobody. I'm currently losing by 12. So I need Devontae Smith and Greg Joseph to get me 13 points combined. If my kicker gets me 9, I just need Devontae Smith to get like 2 catches for 30 yards. That's 5. Boom. That's all I need tonight. That's all I need out of him. So should win there. I'm projected to have 155. I'm at 136 right now. So that'd be about 19 from those 2 guys. Other than that, yeah, a guy like a Cook, Miles Sanders, I know, is on some bench depth. If you're trying to choose between like a Devontae Smith or a Miles Sanders to play tonight, probably the safer bet would be play Miles Sanders. You could go Devontae Smith or Thielen. Again, I'm not a huge advocate right now proponent of putting out Vikings receiver. Kirk Cousins is 2-9 in Monday night games. He can't play in Monday night. Like, if you're trying to decide between like a Kirk Cousins or a Jalen Hurts at your 2 quarterbacks, go with Hurts. I don't trust Kirk Cousins enough. So go with them. Robert Woods or a Thielen, that's tough. Do you take Robert Woods, not as good a receiver, but against a really good defense? or do you take Thielen against not as good as a defense, but his quarterback can't play on Monday night, and it's like, what do you do there? So that's inevitably an issue. I'd probably go Thielen just because he's more talented. He's going to make plays. He's going to get targeted a lot more than Woods there. So it's all tough. It's all tough. Like a Sanders or a Thielen. Again, Sanders or Thielen, it all depends. I mean, I would probably go Thielen. Or Sanders, rather. I'd probably go Sanders just because, again, Kirk Cousins, not great Monday Night Football resume, just doesn't do well on Monday night, all those type of things. So that's kind of your fantasy football stuff. Should be interesting. See how it all plays out. 2 games tonight. Bills Titans, Eagles, Vikings tonight. Fantasy baseball championships also start. Our playoffs also continue today. And, yeah. So now we get ready here tonight for the game. 2 games tonight. One's on ESPN, one's on ABC. We'll start off here with the game that starts first. That will be Bills-Titans. Bills open up 1-0, obviously fresh off the victory. A long, long time they played. Feels like forever ago they played. They played Thursday night all the way now until Monday night they play again. 1-0. Titans are 0-1. Bills big 10-point favorites at home. Over-under set at 47.5, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, ESPN. I have the Bills winning this game. I mean, this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a blowout. Home opener for the Bills. Titans coming off of a terrible loss at home. Bills went out, made a statement on the road against the Rams. Bills are a very good team. We know what they're capable of. Titans, not so much. Titans got their concerns, got their issues. I'm taking the Bills big time, 31-10. I'll take the under on the over-under, 47.5. I think the Bills cover the 10 points very easily. Defense, very good. Don't trust the Titans' offense. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, they got a good run game. We all know what the Bills are capable of. Titans, there's too many questions on offense. Give me the Bills at home. You know that place is going to be packed. You know Buffalo is going to be there. I mean, first game of the season at home, Bills all the way. So I'm taking the Bills there. And then the second game starts 8:30 p.m. Eastern, ABC. Eagles home opener against the Vikings. Eagles are a small 3-point favorite. Both these teams coming into this game 1-0. Vikings, obviously, the big win at home against Green Bay. Eagles went on the road, won a close, tight game against the Lions to get to this point. Over-under set at 49.5, 8:30 Eastern, ABC, like I said. Again, I talked about, Kirk Cousins. He can't win Monday night games. He's terrible on primetime. It's like he forgets how to play football on primetime. And it's not even like he just loses games. He doesn't play well. Like, Kirk Cousins doesn't play well. It's not like he goes out, plays well, and they still just lose. He doesn't play well on Monday night. It's something about primetime, bright lights, home or away. He just does not play well on Monday night. I like this Philly team a lot. I have them winning the division in the NFC East. I know Giants fans are pulling for the Vikings very hard in this game because they would love to have sole possession of first place in the NFC East after 2 weeks. But I'm taking the Eagles. Again, I mean, what they did in the offseason, we saw what their offense was capable of. They do have to clean some things up on the defensive side of the ball, but they put up 38 points last week. I mean, they're a very talented football team. And something I want to say, too, is they put up 38 points last week, and Devontae Smith didn't have a catch. He didn't even have a catch. He had 4 targets, no catches, and they put up 38 points last week. You get Devontae Smith involved, add that to Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Miles Sanders, their defense that we know can play better than that. The home crowd's going to be behind the defense today against a struggling quarterback in primetime and Kirk Cousins. Love the Eagles in this game. I like them to cover at home, similar to Buffalo. You know that stadium is going to be rocking. Home opener, an opportunity to go 2-0. A lot at stake here in week 2 for these 2 games. Give me the Eagles at home. And I hope, maybe this is me just trying to be optimistic because I got Devontae Smith going tonight in fantasy. Get Devontae Smith involved. You get Devontae Smith involved, this Eagles offense can be absolutely lethal. I mean, we saw them put up, 38 points last week, like I mentioned, and Devontae Smith didn't even have a catch. And he was out there playing. It wasn't like he was hurt. He was out there. They just covered him. He was covered. Didn't get him the ball. 4 targets, no catches, and they still found a way to put up 38 points. You get Smith involved, you can do serious damage. Like the Eagles in this game. Again, look at these 2 games. What do they have familiar? What do they have, similar here? Again, look at the quarterbacks. Josh Allen better than Tannehill. And yes, I would take Jalen Hurts in a primetime game over Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is terrible on primetime. Put him any other game. 1 o'clock on a Sunday, Kirk Cousins is a completely different player than he is on primetime. It's weird. I don't know why. It just is. Sometimes guys struggle with the bright lights. It is how it is. it is what it is. So, Eagles win 24-17. I think, they'll do enough. They're going to do solid on offense. I think their defense is going to be the big storyline. If they're going to get some pressure on Kirk Cousins, I think the crowd's going to get into it early. They're going to make some plays on defense. The offense is going to need to put up 30-plus points this week. In this game, I don't think so, because I think they're going to do a good job containing this offense, specifically Kirk Cousins and the quarterback there. So, 24-17 Eagles win. I'll take the under on the over-under 49.5. I think they do cover the 3 points here at home in their home opener. So, 2 Monday night games tonight. And then Thursday night will be Browns-Steelers in Cleveland. So after the Browns, obviously, yes, they lost the heartbreaker, and the Jets won the thrilling match, the thrilling game. They will now have to turn the page and play Pittsburgh. So tonight closes out week 2, and then tomorrow the focus shifts to week 3 of the NFL season, where the Giants will get ready to play the Cowboys, and the Jets will get ready to play the Bengals. And a lot to look forward to coming up this week as well. So, that will do it for the podcast here today. As always, I will see you all back here either tomorrow or Wednesday. Depends on if I can get a pod in or not. So, we'll see how that plays out. As always, hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.